Hey guys, Michael with Mealy Marine, and I think Hugh probably thinks I'm a freaking idiot because we film one of these pretty much every week, and then I never ever edit them. So I promise I'm gonna get this video out at some point in time. But I'm gonna show you guys what we got going around at the shop, why we're not working on the project boat, and why there's not a lot of video content, because we're busy for us. So customer just dropped this boat off. We're doing a 100-ish hour service back here on his 50 horsepower. Pulled the lower unit. We're redoing the impeller. We changed out the plugs. We are going to rebuild the fuel filter. I'm going to show you guys something real quick on the fuel filter. Excuse me. They put this on there and then they paint it. So if the paint is still on the filter and you can...
Are you kidding me?
Are you serious?
Do you speak English?
You can like feel it and it kind of like cracks and stuff. This is the original diaphragm and you're going to want to get that replaced. We got his impeller out, not in terrible shape, but it's one of those things you won't know if it's bad until you pull it, and might as well replace it at that point. So we got that. Moving on, we got the Champion, as you guys may or may not have seen. I don't know, probably haven't seen it, but there will be a short series on this big restoration project. We're gonna start detailing that. And then we're gonna go over here where we got more boats. Now we've been working here on Pete's boat. Pete Dodge is a guide out of Fayetteville, and was having some issues with his bilge pumps, which we had replaced, and aerator timers and things like that. So we got Pete finished up. We also put on a super cool steering wheel, which is probably gonna make him go way faster. Super fast. Look at that carbon fiber on there. And he also did something that I've never seen before, where he just like broke the eye bolt, not like ripped it out, just like broke it into a bunch of pieces, which is pretty crazy. So we got that going on here. That's leaving, that's done. Just gotta get paid. And now we got like two very different body style boats that just goes to show how much wider one is, one skinnier. So we got a Bass Cat here and a Ranger. Doing a lot of motor work. I was doing a lot of trailer work, now I'm doing a lot of motor work. So this Bass Cat came in, customer stated that it was not peeing very well and it was idling really rough, and sometimes would die when he when it was like in gear trying to go take off. He pulled the gas before he brought it to me, so I think that was a big part of it, because it did not run bad when he brought it here. He put 5 gallons of fresh gas in here, ran really well. He did change out the onboard oil tank here, and I was getting the 4 beep warning, which means that it's low oil, and he just did not bleed the tank. So I did that for him, and we're doing kind of like, what? Yeah. So if you guys install one of these onboard oil tanks, you're gonna fill it up to about yonder. You want the motor to be level, and then you're gonna take the cap off and you're gonna run the outboard, and it takes forever. It takes like 10-15 minutes for the oil to go all the way up, and you want it almost coming out. Then you're gonna put the cap on while the motor's running, put it on, and then your system is pressurized. So if you're getting 4 beeps, it could be the sender in here could be bad. You check continuity, which is normally the case, or it's just low. So that's that. He's getting a new belt. If you guys, like, can you see all those cracks and stuff? Like, there's cracks. Those cracks are, that's bad. You don't want that in your belt. So we're getting a new belt on here. And I believe we are doing, I think we're doing a fuel pump on here as well.
Give him a round of applause.
Pretty sure. I got it all written down. But yeah, super cool customer as well. We do have some other error codes on the motor, but they are, they're for things that aren't plugged in, and I can't get rid of them. So that's that, we're good there. Now on over to this Ranger that's not been taken care of. The guy even told me, he's like, my son's been, has had this boat for 4 years and it's lived a rough life. So we had a couple things. First thing was, he says, hey, Michael, the boat's not getting on pad. The only way we can get on pad is if we jack the motor all the way up, and it takes forever, and we finally get it up. So we brought it here, hooked up to the computer, no error codes. And so when you turn it on, fuel pressure builds and fills up in the rails and stuff. And this injector here, number 3, the gas was just pouring out of the backside here. So there's like a couple O-rings on the injectors, and the furthest one back that I think it seals like right up in here, or like on this surface, I believe like right in here, was bad. When I pulled it out, it was ripped. So we went ahead and we pulled the injector. I called the customer, said, hey, do you want me to get them cleaned while I'm doing this? Because I got to replace all, they don't sell one O-ring. They sell some in 6s. So he said, yeah, go ahead, let's get it clean. So we pulled not only the fuel injectors, but the air injectors, because an air injector is like $700.
Holy cow! Holy cow!
Compared to like $30 to get them clean. So we went ahead and did that. Then he was telling me that, well, he went to go jack the motor up while I was here, and it wouldn't jack up. So his tilt cap was bleeding, or had a leak in it. I don't have the cap here, but this is called your tilt arm, and that's the difference. That's why it's called a trim tilt. So these two guys here, these two guys tilt or trim. These two guys trim. That's when the motor's under load, and these things like push the motor out, right? And then this tilts it up, so it tilts it farther up. So this seal, there's, you know, right? That seal is bad. Right, I'm pretty good at that. So that seal was leaking, and this is like, usually these things are on, and you got to get like a 40-foot breaker bar and torch it to break it off, and these were all hand tight, which blew my mind. I was telling Hugh about this. So this is like the fall. Well, this is the fall something. So this does something. I'm not too technical on all this, but this thing is right. It's upside down, but this thing is on here, and then there's this washer, goes like this, and then there's a nut. Every time I've ever done one of these, and what do I know anything about anything, but I've always had to put this in a vise and crank down to get this off. I literally just went like this to get this one off. So someone's definitely been in here at some point in time and maybe not put it back together correctly, or every other one I've done, they've not put it back together correctly. So we got all that. I think that's it for this boat. And yeah, so that's what we got going on, and we are waiting on parts for every single one of these boats sitting in here right now. I try to get as far as I can and then wait on parts. So everything's waiting on parts. Once parts come in, we're good to go. But that's it. I'm gonna stop talking. It's about 2,000 degrees in here. We're gonna go turn the fans back on, and we're gonna get back to work. I'm gonna start detailing that boat over there. He's gonna make battery trays. Yeah, we're gonna finish out the day. Bye.